Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsat. Let's have a look at the headlines. There should be a sustainable solution for the recurring flood crisis. President stresses. Bribery Commission has expedited action on cases of alleged corruption. Subject Minister says. News in detail. President Anukumara Dissanayake has emphasized the urgent need for a sustainable solution to address the recurring flooding in Sri Lanka. The President's remarks came during a high-level discussion held at the Presidential Office with officials from the Ministry of Disaster Management and the Ministry of Finance earlier this week.
The President stressed the importance of providing immediate relief to those affected by the adverse weather conditions in Colombo, Gampaha, Puttalam and Kalutara. The government has already allocated 50 million rupees for relief efforts, but President Dissanayake assured that additional funds will be made available if necessary to assist those impacted. President Dissanayake also pointed out that this is the second time this year that severe floods have occurred and urged the officials to develop a long-term, sustainable plan to control frequent flooding. During the meeting, the President instructed officials to focus not only on immediate relief, but also on repairing property damage and compensating those whose properties were partially damaged during earlier floods. Key officials attending the discussion included Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumarnayaka, Finance Secretary Mahinda Siriwardana, Disaster Management Ministry Additional Secretary K.G. Dharmatilaka and Meteorological Department Director General A.K. Karunanayaka.
Foreign Minister Vijat announced that the Bribery Commission has expedited action on cases of alleged corruption. The minister made this statement while addressing the Colombo-based diplomatic coups recently.
The government has already begun investigations into key corruption matters as part of its broader commitment to zero tolerance for bribery and corruption. Minister Herath emphasized that President Anukumara Dissanayake has placed a high priority on ethical governance, the elimination of corruption and the promotion of efficiency within the public sector. The minister also reiterated that fostering a new political culture, one based on the rule of law, accountability and integrity, is essential to the administration's vision. He stated that economic success must be underpinned by these vital pillars. As investigations into key cases progress, the government remains committed to ensuring that corruption is rooted out and that the country moves forward on the path of ethical and accountable governance.
Speaking further at the event, Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijat Herath said that the government will officially make a request to join the BRICS Association in its upcoming summit, scheduled to be held after this month.
Excellencies, I have been active in the recent weeks on a number of matters on the foreign affairs front. Sri Lanka has decided to apply for the membership of the BRICS and the New Development Bank. Chief President and myself, we are unable to attend the Outreach BRICS Summit to be held in Kazan, Russian Federation from 23-24 October 2024 due to the upcoming elections. Secretary Foreign Affairs will represent Sri Lanka and place on record our request for membership. I have already addressed letters to my counterparts in the BRICS member states seeking support. We consider BRICS to be an effective partnership to realize aspiration for mutually beneficial cooperation, peace and development through strengthened and inclusive multilateralism within the framework of the UN Charter.
Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. The Sri Lankan government has announced a pause on restructuring state-owned enterprises, including Sri Lankan Airlines, until after the general election on November 14th. A prominent local newspaper revealed that the previous administration's state-owned enterprises restructuring unit, tasked with divesting 130 entities, has been disbanded.
Any further restructuring decisions will now be deferred until after the election. Sri Lankan Airlines, the national carrier, is not up for sale. Further development plans will be decided in consultation with newly appointed management. Meanwhile, the transfer of Mattala International Airport into a joint venture involving India and Russia is currently pending legal clearance from the Attorney General's Department. Funding issues continue to delay major infrastructure projects including the Colombo-Ratnapura Expressway and the third and fourth phases of the Central Expressway due to the debt restructuring complications with China's Exim Bank.
United Nations Development Programme Assistant Secretary General Kanni Wignaraja met with Sri Lankan President Anukumara Dissanayake at the Presidential Office recently. The meeting focused on governance, constitutional reforms and electoral system changes in Sri Lanka.
During the discussion, a report on understanding multidimensional risk situations and their impact on the people of Sri Lanka was presented to President Dissanayake. The UNDP highlighted that rural women's limited involvement in economic activities is contributing to significant financial challenges. Additionally, the agriculture sector was discussed with attention drawn to its underrepresentation in the national economy and low productivity compared to other Asian nations. President Dissanayake explained that small-scale land ownership and part-time farming are key barriers for farmers, but announced plans to strengthen farmers' associations to enhance agriculture activities and bargaining power. On the topic of electoral reforms, President Dissanayake reiterated the need for an inclusive system that ensures representation of all ethnic and religious communities in Sri Lanka's parliament. The microfinance sector was also discussed, with the President pointing out unfair interest rates and announcing plans for a new development bank to support microfinancing initiatives, especially proposals from women entrepreneurs.
The visiting United Nations Assistant Secretary General and UNDP Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, Kanni Wignaraja, also met with the Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya during her one-day mission to Sri Lanka. This marked the first visit by a senior UN official following the country's recent presidential elections.
During her discussions, Wignaraja reaffirmed the UNDP's commitment to supporting Sri Lanka's sustainable development goals. She emphasized key areas such as economic and governance reforms, public sector modernization, digital transformation, and the protection of vulnerable communities affected by the economy, disaster, and climate change. Accompanied by Asusa Kubota, the UNDP resident representative in Sri Lanka, Wignaraja also reinforced the UNDP's role in promoting innovative financing and accountability, further strengthening the long-standing partnership with Sri Lanka.
That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.